20 months ago, I ordered my first ever Prusa printer. It worked great for the most part, but my place can get quite hot and the printer would often clog. So I learned CAD and designed my own extruder from scratch, changing as little as possible. This is what I came up with. Here's an older version. This PitStop is more than a year old and has been printing ever since without issue. It got some dust and the wire cover broke because it was too thin, but the extruder has been working great for all this time. I've only made minor aesthetic and usability changes over time, but I intentionally kept this version running without intervention for over 12 months. I wanted to make absolutely sure that it was a reliable design, and that's why I haven't published it until now. It's been hundreds of iterations until I got to this design. And this is actually the second PitStop design I've done. First, I thought I could just cut the original stock version in two. That worked to some extent, but I quickly got stuck. The second time I started from scratch, and it's what I've been using for the last year, and I kept refining it over time. For me, it was perhaps the biggest CAD project to date, taking a couple months of full-time work and hundreds of invaluable lessons learned. I grew a bit frustrated having to open the original extruder numerous times, so I made ease of access top priority. I ended up with a magnetic system for easy service. No screws, easy extruder access. This. So cool. If you ever had to open the original extruder for servicing, you know how valuable this is. No matter the issue, it's now way easier to fix. There are 3 pairs of magnets holding the opening part in place. Several alignment guides provide auto alignment, so it's always aligned correctly. I love designs that are both functional and have some cool aspect. For PitStop, this quick access magnetic system is very convenient, but it's also unique and unexpected. It's intriguing to visitors and works as a great teaching tool, because I can easily open it and show what happens inside and how the extruder works. Sometimes small bits of filament build up on the bonded gears, and what used to be a challenge to clean up, now it's a breeze. Or if you lose bed adhesion and end up with a big blob of filament around your extruder, you can just heat it up, open it and give it a good cleaning. But wouldn't this design allow for the extrusion column to move, ruining the print? Actually, the extruder is tightly held in place, even though the mounting is at the top. There's a tight fit out there, and the space is undersized so that the cover presses there with the force from all the magnets. You can see a bit of a gap here. I've intentionally adjusted it to be more visible. This makes sure that the magnet force doesn't get wasted pushing printed parts against each other, and instead is used to hold the extrusion column firmly in place. There is zero play at the nozzle end. At the back there is a built-in tensioner to easily adjust the correct tension and avoid ghosting. Nowadays there are other mods featuring additional belt tensioners, but PitStop includes this one just in case. And speaking of ghosting, let's address the elephant in the room. This extruder looks big and heavy. Wouldn't that add more ghosting? In my experience, not at all, because it's a lightweight design, but let's look at the facts. These printed parts weigh 139 grams including supports. I printed them with 4 perimeters and 25% infill, so they're a bit heavier but also stiffer. I don't have the original extruder printed, but the slicer reports about 97 grams for the same settings and material. I hope I've included all the parts. The fan is also heavier at 47 grams versus 12 grams for the tiny one. The fan has to stay at this weird angle to avoid hitting the vertical column. I wish there was a bit more room here so that the fan would stay flat against the extruder in a more compact design, but the constraints required it to be further away. With the additional radiator weighing 18 grams, overall we're looking at 95 grams more. Let's put this into perspective. The motor is 267 grams, the extrusion column 28 grams. I estimate at least 51 grams for wires, pinda, the blower fan and bearings, so we're talking perhaps 550 grams total, adding about 20% more weight to the extruder. Now remember that while the extruder moves on the x-axis, the whole bed moves on the y-axis. And the bed weighs about 1100 grams empty, twice as heavy as the entire PitStop extruder. Even though the bed rods are further apart, providing greater stability on acceleration, my guess is that we're way more likely to get ghosting from the bed movement. So in my view, the added weight has minimal downsides and is well worth it. but we'll be looking at the print quality in a future video because that's what ultimately matters. I remember having to open the stock extruder many times, and sometimes I would break little parts. Good thing that I had a second printer to replace them, and screwing and unscrewing would create small bits of print over time. Some got stuck inside the nut once and got it locked into place on the screw, and then they would both start rotating together inside the print. I ended up having to cut the extruder in half to be able to open it. This is why PitStop uses square nuts, which stay more firmly in the print and are less likely to start rotating. There's only one nylock nut for the back here, and they're hexagonal, and I might be able to replace that one as well. It's for the multi-material unit so that the lever doesn't loosen up over time. The parts have a version number on them for future tweaks, so you know which parts need upgrading whenever the case. My printers live in a closet, usually with one door open, but on occasion I print more sensitive materials which require an enclosure. Printing in hotter environments is no problem. For example, this PitStop extruder is printed with ASA by another PitStop extruder. That makes it its mother, its father? Besides the magnetic design, cooling is the most important aspect of the PitStop extruder, reason why I've dedicated a separate video on this topic. In short, it eliminates heat-related issues of the stock extruder. Well, for the most part. I'm sure you could still get it clogged if you really wanted to. You can find the link to that video down below. And if you're wondering about compatibility, I've made yet another video right on this topic. In short, PitStop is compatible with Prusa Mark III's printers, MMU2's multi-material unit, the bear frame, and various types of bearings. Check the video link in the description. For PitStop, wiring in the back is similar to the original. The cables are too short to move to the front, so I had to work with the frame constraints and squeeze the wires to the right side like this. I have slightly longer wires here, but let me show you the printer with the stock parts. Here the wire length pretty much dictates how long this section can be. It's shorter, but it's good enough, I'd say. There's been a lot of innovation in the extruder department since I designed the PitStop extruder, such as the Mosquito or the recently released Chimera. However, I believe that PitStop is a great improvement over the stock extruder for a relatively low price. In terms of cost, PitStop requires a new fan, screws, and some wiring work. However, it reuses most of the stock parts, and I offer it free of charge for personal use. You can even use the original fan to cool down the driver board so the drivers don't get overheated. So nothing goes to waste. If you like this video, smash that like button and make sure to subscribe for more like this. Until next time, be awesome!